I've been typing on a typewriter since about age 16. I've had them over the years and gotten rid of them, and here probably a year or so ago, I got back into typing again with the typewriter.
Are there small groups of people who get together and celebrate typewriters?
Oh, well, there are typewriter conventions. People get together and talk about typewriters.
Yeah.
Fans of Mad Men were in office machine heaven at the Red Lion Tavern in Silver Lake for a special gathering devoted to those workhorses of the office world.
Yes, there's quite a few typewriters. A lot of typewriter enthusiasts here today. A lot of people are looking to buy typewriters. We have Ruben Flores from U.S. Business Machines looking to sell typewriters. So it's a great event, I think.
I'm wondering if the typewriter people are a certain type of people. Are they collectors, or is it a memorabilia thing?
Most people are like either collectors or they just are avid typers. They want to simplify a little bit, so they like to write and they want to just concentrate on writing instead of checking their email or their Facebook or.
When did the typewriter start to disappear?
Probably around the 70s when word processors came along. They started to disappear slowly. Around 92, 93, the last few typewriter manufacturers in America started either producing computers or else they just went out of business.
Now, personally, with your experience about typewriters, you have one, I guess, at home?
I do have a typewriter. I actually have it here today. So.
Which one? What kind is it?
It's an Underwood portable.
Do you have a computer at home?
I do.
Which one do you prefer to type on?
The typewriter.
And the reason is?
Because I get distracted by the internet and everything else when I write. So.
The afternoon gathering gave fans the opportunity to type on an actual typewriter, something they probably haven't done for a very long time. It also gave repairmen the chance to explain the origin of some of the typewriter's early innovations.
The IBM was not the first company to think of the element, the ball, for typing, as you would think when they came out in the 50s and the 60s, being an electric machine. They already had the concept on a manual, no electricity, and they figured out how you could just rotate and print a character by doing it with a lever and print. So they thought of it a long time ago, early 1900s.
Also, I have something I think belongs to you here.
Yeah, this is the keyboard part of it, and as you can see, I'll put this down. It's just using a matter of different positions. It determines how much it's going to rotate, left or right, to select a character. Now, what they're doing is they're changing the height for capital letters and numbers. So that's how they're achieving it, just by different levels. And one level does this, one level does that.
You probably know how to fix just about any typewriter then.
Yeah, most of them. And I'm seeing some typewriters today that I never even saw back in the 70s, like some of these Hammond, Smith Premiers. So it's funny, I've been doing this all my life, but I'm seeing some typewriters like Blicks. I never saw a Blick in the 70s. Yeah, so, our training comes in handy for us to work on other machines that we don't see.
So it's kind of something that was handed down to you from your generation there.
Yes, my father passed this on to me and my brother Danny. So we're the two mechanics over at the shop, and we keep them working.
What are some of the older machines that you've had to repair or seen?
Well, I've seen some very old Remingtons. I saw a very early Olympia Model 8. I saw a Smith Premier, like I mentioned earlier. And we have a couple of Blicks. Blickenverse, I can't say it correctly. And that's when I first realized that they had the ball machine, even in a little manual machine. That's why I didn't know that they did that. I just thought IBM did. And that's when I opened my eyes.
So probably since birth you've been doing this, so you're probably part human and part typewriter.
Yeah, I was born here with a spring hook in my hand. That's what I always tell people. So, yeah, I've been from trash cans, sweeping the floor, to taking machines apart, cleaning them, and then fixing them.
Really?
For many writers and journalists, there's something special about the connection they make with their favorite machine, forging a bond that can serve as inspiration for their creative endeavors. This is Jamie, and Jamie, you have two typewriters with you? Why?
I do. I have two of my old girls with me, both of which I've used quite a bit. I'm old. That's why I have the glasses.
I didn't know that. Now, why do you have two, or is it
Well,
just?
I actually had many typewriters throughout the years, but there were certain, like little small ones that I kind of kept around, and I actually wish I had every single one of them. I have a very deep fondness for the written word, and the next best thing to a handwritten letter is a hand-typed letter. And it's so rare in our day and age that we find such a wonderful thing. I also I've expressed my affinity for typewriting by producing the film Secretary. And she didn't use a manual typewriter, but she did use an old IBM, which I used, many an hour. So I love typewriters. I read about the event in the paper and decided to come down and see if these old girls were still kicking and where you even find, the ribbons and.
Well, not only that, but you have the instruction manual, I think, for that
no,
one.
I'm a thorough secretary.
All right, inside and out, right? Now these are portable typewriters. What do you have at home?
Well, at home I have a whole slew of Macintoshes. And I know, sorry. No, at home, these are the only remnants of my previous analog typing career. And
It looks as though this is your true love here.
these are definitely my dear loved ones that have been with me all over the world. Back in the day when we had to take our typewriters, it was the little guys that got to go on the trip.
They had prop planes instead of jets.
Well, actually, yes, that too, because I've been in some pretty remote areas. But no, I am of the jet age, but that's all I'm going to say.
How does a typewriter repair shop stay in business with today's economy and what people are using after typewriters?
Well, I guess the key is that we've been in the same location for quite a while. So our rent is pretty good. It's gone up, but it's not very expensive as if we were to get another store. Been in the same location for 25 years in that store. And number two is we do a lot of the work ourselves, between me and my brother Danny, and we have one assistant, Tyler, who's a high school friend of my son. So, and we also do printer service, sell toner. So that used to be our primary business. But with the economy and a lot of our old customers actually going out of business, now the typewriters are picking up to where so many people are bringing in these manual typewriters. They're like 50% of our business now. And because the overhead is done with us, it's not we're putting in all the money, you have to pay somebody to do it. And that's how we're hanging in there.
Do you prefer a typewriter to a computer?
That's a good one. For me, no, I'm not a good speller. So
This is not true confessions.
I hear you. No, the computer is great for the internet. I pay my bills.
You do?
Yeah, I pay all my bills through the internet.
Okay.
I search typewriter history through the internet. Things I don't know, if we don't have, I can go on the internet and find it now. So, but if you want to slow down and give a more personal touch,
Yeah.
the typewriter is the thing for you to let somebody know you took the time to type it and send them an in-house message.
A highlight of the afternoon brought fans back to their high school years. The informal typing contest was quite a test for those who have become spoiled with today's laptops and iPads.
Basically, there's two of Aesop's fables on one page, and you have to try to type all of it. If not, whoever types the most words correctly and without errors wins the contest.
I was pretty good at typing some time ago, but I made a lot of errors. When you correct the typing test today, will you be looking for errors?
Yes.
Oh, darn.
Yes, definitely.
Because I can type a lot of errors.
I know, so can I if I try hard.
Have typewriting skills improved, or are they worse now because of these computers?
I think they're probably worse a little bit. I really do. Because, obviously with a computer you have a delete key, whereas with a typewriter you have to stop and think about what you're going to write before you actually type on it on paper, There's a high school teacher in Arizona who has 14 typewriters in his classroom, and the whole idea is to teach kids writing and teach them to think about writing, and also to teach them better spelling habits than what we've become accustomed to with a computer and spell check and delete, things like that.
Oh, that's why.
To experience this nostalgic trip back to those early days, simply visit your attic or basement, dust off that old Underwood or IBM Selectric, and let your fingers do the pounding as you relish the sights, sounds, and smells of a true office icon.